Hey, did you guys see the game?
I did.
No, man. Well, who won?
Oh, well, we won.
Hey guys,
Awesome.
how's it going?
Hey, Taylor.
Hey Taylor. Hey.
Did you catch the game Friday?
No, I was actually hanging out with Alex.
Alex, what's she been up to these days?
Did you guys hear she flunked chemistry last semester?
I heard she's depressed. I don't know what she has to be depressed about. She's so rich and pretty. She's got like the perfect life.
Yeah, well, I heard she even ended up in the hospital. She probably went crazy.
Whoa, that's not okay. You can't just throw that word around. Have you even talked to her?
No, I wouldn't even know what to say to her. Awkward.
It's not awkward if you just talk about it. You can't just judge someone by their diagnosis when you don't have the full story. Mental health is not always what it seems.
Well, I'm no therapist.
It's not even about being a therapist. It's about having compassion. I can say that I have a mental health diagnosis. Does that make me crazy?
Oh, really? I didn't know that, Chris.
Not everyone experiences their depression in the same way. There's no magic formula for this kind of thing.
Wow, I've known you since the second grade and I didn't know that. I mean, how long has this been going on? What is it like?
Well, honestly, guys, it was hard. Wasn't easy, but I got through it because I had friends to count on, friends that were there for me, friends that helped me to get not just through it, but over it. And Alex, she really needs someone there for her right now in this really tough time she's going through.
Wow, I didn't know that either. I feel compelled to talk to her now. I mean, I don't know her situation, but maybe I should give her a call tonight.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'll call her this weekend.
All right, well, thank you for talking through this with me.
Yeah, of course. It's so important to share this awareness for this kind of thing. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Wow, what an amazing film. I really enjoyed that. And I'm so impressed by you all as young adults to have the courage to kind of put yourselves out there and talk about a very delicate topic. So first and foremost, congratulations. You've all sent an amazing message to the world. Mental health is not always what it seems. So I'd like to start there. Garrett, maybe if you'd be willing, why is it important for people, especially young adults, to talk about mental health?
It's important to have a relationship with people, not only just everyone, but if you're struggling from a mental diagnosis, getting out there and talking with people is one of the best things you could probably do. One of the best things is having an honest relationship, someone you can talk to about anything. And that is really important. It's important to break the stigma when you talk with people. You know, some of your friends might not know something about you or something along those lines, but it's important to break that stigma. So
that's wonderful. Well said, Garrett. Thank you. And I'm wondering what it's like to perform this film, having a diagnosis. And Ian, I wonder if you might share a little bit of what was it like for you to participate having a mental health diagnosis?
Yeah, sure, William. That's a great question. So for me, I initially thought that it was the film was going to be just a project, but over time, after going through the motions of practicing the film, it really made me personalize it, and it brought me back to when just remembering that I have a mental health diagnosis. I have OCD, and I know what it's like for people to make fun of you and for people not to have the full story and for people to make it your fault when it's not your fault. And, it really helped me to not just sympathize, but to empathize in realizing that the opposite of someone with a mental diagnosis is not normal per se. It's, it's healthy, and that we're all trying to pursue that in the way that we live, regardless of if you have, challenges. I like to call them challenges that we all face. And so it was very meaningful to to have that joy of someone being able to be able to steer someone away from misinformation towards, breaking that stigma and, and really showing, being able to be open with that.
Wow. Thank you. You're a well-spoken young man, Ian. I really appreciate. I always love to hear you speak. So thank you. So I want to go on to another question that I was wondering about. So during COVID, there's a lot of restrictions. You were all in a group doing this video, and you weren't wearing masks. What were the challenges of doing this film?
Sure.
Caitlin, can you take that away?
Yeah, I will. It was quite an interesting challenge, and I learned a lot from this experience. But in order to follow CDC guidelines and to keep everybody safe during this project, during the filming of this project, essentially what filming looked like for this film was actually each individual member sat at the table by themselves and went through the whole script. And they were able to take their mask off because we were all standing more than 6 feet back with our masks on, waiting for our turn, right? So each member got to sit at the table by themselves and give it their best shot, and they were so successful in doing that. And the challenge behind that is having to work with 4 different films and consolidate them into one. So that's what the editing process looked like. The behind the scenes tech side, that's what that was like. But I'd really love to hear from one of the actors, what was it like speaking to an empty chair? How did that feel for you? Garrett, maybe?
Yeah. It was definitely a strange experience. We each went and had our own turn, and we had to turn to see, somebody that wasn't even there. So you were responding to these people that aren't even there, and it was definitely different than normal video taking. But so.
Awesome.
Thank you, Garrett. Well, thank you. Fascinating behind the scenes. So I'm thinking about the script. How did that script all come together? You worked as a team. How did everyone's personal experiences come into making that script? Kristen, you want to take that question on?
Yeah. Look, we wrote the script. It took a couple weeks to write it, and we kind of left the line so when we did casting, everyone could rewrite it so that to fit them as a person, so it's more natural.
Well, that's nice. It sounds like you used some of your personal experiences to incorporate in those scenes.
Yeah, we did.
Well, thank you, Kristen. It was very, very nice, very powerful. And I noticed that there was a school setting. It seemed to be maybe a cafeteria or a classroom setting. I wasn't really sure, but it seemed to be kind of a school setting. Kevin, could you speak to me the reasoning behind that? Why did you guys choose that setting?
Yeah, it's really just more of a matter of reaching a bigger audience. The majority of the people we're trying to reach are probably teenagers and college, high school, young adults. So just seems like the best place to put that sort of scenario.
Yeah. Very nice. And I'm hoping that through that video, you do reach those young adults. So I'd like to segue into one last question, if I might, and I want to ask all of our member panelists to think about this. And I'm going to ask you for a one-sentence word of advice. So, you know, most people are diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis in their late teens and early 20s. So most are young adults like yourselves. What advice would you give to a young adult who is kind of struggling with his or her diagnosis, maybe recently diagnosed?
Can I start with that?
Yes, Gary, please.
Okay. Biggest thing that I can just think of is don't give up. You have to stay strong and, you know, just stay with it and try to get a better day every day after the next day. You know?
Thank you. Nice, Garrett. Thank you. Kevin, go ahead.
Honestly, I think my own personal experience, don't be afraid to reach out for help, whether that be friends, family, teachers, principals, therapists. We all need to talk to somebody about it. So go to somebody you feel comfortable talking with.
Nice. Thank you, Kevin. That's really nice. Kristen, what would you say?
Finding something you love to do, like painting or reading.
Very nice. Nice answer. So, Ian, we're going to end with you. You can wrap it up. What advice would you give, Ian?
For me, I would say, you know, surround yourself with friends that are going to build you up.
That's a wonderful answer. Well, I want to thank you all for inviting me into the behind-the-scenes view of your video, of your film. Congratulations again, and just thanks for being such wonderful role models here at the Academy and for other young people that are living with mental health issues.